Hello, welcome to Everything Distributed. Today we are going to talk about XSS, cross-site scripting. The content is based on one very good write-up by Cloudflare and also the book by Kevin. It's computer security, a hands-on approach. If you are into security topics and you like to hack system, then this is a book I highly recommend. Now start with the real world case of a cross-site script. It's called SemiWarm. And SemiWarm is an attack on MySpace. If you are too young, you don't know what MySpace is, you could think about it's a Facebook back in the time. It's also a social website. And Semi, by Semi Kemker, he used this kind of attack to kind of hijack the profile of his MySpace page. And if you click on the link, you are going to trigger this kind of attack. And then what's cool or what's so dangerous about this worm is that it will send a request to others to add new friends. So it propagates really quickly. So it's in 20 hours, it gets over 1 million users that infected with this one. And if you are interested in more detail or the damage, you can check this YouTube link. So what's a cross-site scripting? You can think about that as some type of code injection attack. And then that attacker will try to force the user to execute some malicious script so that they can complete their attack. And then when you are doing some browsing, you open a website, you need to download something or download the request from the website. And here is where code injection may happen. And that's because that lots of modern website uses a JavaScript so that it increases performance, and then you can have some fancy visualization or some ability to interact with the website. And the idea is that you are going to run some client-side code locally at the user browser. And then the attacker can somehow inject the malicious JavaScript to the user so that when the user try to locally run this client-side script, it's actually doing this malicious thing, and then bam, the attacks happens. And it's usually due to lack of sanity check at the website, because you usually website because of lots of interaction or that you need to collect information. So somehow it gets some user input from the attacker, but the attacker can actually inject some kind of malicious script. And there are two types of attack that are possible. The first one is called persistent XSS attack. So the idea is that attacker directly inject the malicious script into the website. And whenever the client visits the website or load that web page, he or she will execute this kind of malicious script. So one very simple example is that you have some HTML file, then you have a discussion forum, or that you have comment section. You allow user to upload something. Then here's the script. Here's an example of that how could be possible. Then the attacker can just say that submit my comment, but instead of the pure text file, the attacker can inject the malicious script into the website. And because if the website does not do any type of sanity check or remove this kind of script, you will store the script internally in the database. Then the next time when the user that try to access this comment section, he or she will actually execute this kind of malicious script that's already embedded in the database. So that's one type of persistent XSS attack. And then the other is called non-persistent attack. Sometimes we also call reflected attack. And then one very common approach is that attacker force the user to click malicious link. So in this case, the malicious link actually it's embedded with some kind of malicious script, Then the user just don't know because the link may be too long, so he just click it, and then it will send some query to the website. And actually, website doesn't know anything; it just bounce back. That's why we say it's reflected, because the script is reflected from the website back to the user, and user treats this as an answer or the response from the web page, so he will execute it and got attacked. Okay. And this is very common. And 2 years ago, there was one attack on Fortnite. If you are interested, or like if you have ever played Fortnite, you might want to check this video. And then the write-up is also very accessible, even if you don't have much background. So now we describe the attacks, then why this is bad, what are some damage that this kind of cross-site attack could, cross-site scripting attack could cause. The first one is that because this client-side library, client-side script is very powerful, so you can use the DOM API to change the website, a web page arbitrarily. So what you see actually is not what the website designer want you to see. Instead, it's something that is full or affected by the malicious script. So what's DOM? DOM is called Document Object Model. That is a very common approach to interface for your HTML and your XML. And the other part, it's called spoofing request. So the idea is that malicious can send the HTTP request pretending that it's the user's request. So for example, in the SemiWarm case, that it will pretend to be user to send requests to add new friends, and then that's how it can get propagated very fast. And then the most dangerous one is stealing information. So you could steal cookies, you could steal local data that's stored at the web app. And what's cookie? Cookies are file or record that are created by the website, which often contain lots of credential information like your user name, your password, so that if the attacker can use this malicious script to access this information, then your information is leaked. It's stolen by the attacker. Then this also related to like cookie theft, because script can access your cookie, or key login, because whatever you type, then the script can like kind of record it and then send to the attacker. And it could also have a phishing, because that the DOM can create fake page, and then you just like type in your login information, and the attacker can steal this information. Then now we know the damage, we know that different types of attack, then how can we prevent it? But one principle is that nothing is perfect, nothing is foolproof, because the technology and attacks, they are evolving really, really fast. So the best approach is that as a user, you need to be very careful on the website that you are visiting. But if you are designing on your website, then it's your responsibility to prevent from that very simple this kind of cross-site attack. And for example, you can filter out, you just look at that scripts and you remove all of them, or you can use encoding. For example, like whenever you have like this bracket, because script that you need to have bracket, you want to replace by this thing. And then you can also have validation, meaning that okay, whitelist, like only a particular web page can be visited, only particular type of script can be executed. And blacklist is that with the non-attack, you should block it. And then you can also have an extra security mechanism. For example, your cookie security measures that need to be updated. So even if the user execute malicious script, it's not easy for the attacker to access like something inside a cookie. And there's also more advanced thing like web application firewall. So usually firewall is done at the network layer. You just check like packet by packet, but like it can also be done one layer above, like to specify what behavior of the application that it's possible or not possible. And that's all for today. So we talk about cross-site scripting attack and two types of them, a persistent and non-persistent, and then different damage that script can cause, and then several measures that we can help preventing the XSS attack. That's all. Thank you.